Drink your water. Unclench your jaw. Take your meds. Eat something yummy, motherfucker.
Ubu?
Thank you for calling the ADHD Advice Line, where nuance goes to die and shame is absolutely free. If you're ready to be wildly misunderstood, you've come to the right place. Menu options. If you're struggling with motivation, press 1 to hear, "Have you tried just trying harder?" said with condescending jazz music in the background. Press 2 if you're overwhelmed, so we can remind you that you're just lazy and need to set an alarm at 5 a.m. like a real adult. Press 3 if someone once told you, "Everyone's a little ADHD," and you want to be violently reminded of it. We'll say it again, slower this time, with extra smugness. Press 4 if you forgot why you called in the first place. We'll place you on hold for eternity, with royalty-free elevator music and passive-aggressive breathing. Press 5 if your executive dysfunction has left you crying on the floor surrounded by empty mugs and broken dreams. We'll send you a motivational quote from someone who owns a yacht. Press 6 to unsubscribe from your medication by listening to an unqualified podcast host talk about how Big Pharma is stealing your soul. Press 7 to activate toxic positivity mode, where we tell you ADHD is actually your superpower, right before judging you for not paying your bills on time. Press 8 to scream into the void. We'll scream back. Or press 9 to be transferred to your mom, who will remind you that when she was your age, she had 3 jobs, 2 kids, and still had time to vacuum the ceiling. Still there? Impressive. Honestly, we thought you'd get distracted halfway through. We certainly did. Please hold for a disorganized customer service agent who may or may not exist.
Neon lights flash bright and glow. Cyber city skyline low. Lost in shadows where we roam. Here we rock in Squirrel Zone. Neon lights flash bright and glow. Cyber city skyline low. Lost in shadows where we roam. Here we rock in Squirrel Zone. Talking alley blips and clicks. Metal bars and cyber kicks. Rusted wires mesh and twist. Squirrel Zone won't beam as we rock out in Squirrel Night. See bright in blinding light. Future's here, technology tight. Rocking hard till morning light. Circuits sap the night alive. We survive the cyber hive. Outcast in electric vibe. In these streets we do or die. Digital heartbeats pounding hard. Skies filled with electric stars. We ride fast in glitching cars. Leave behind all city scars. Outlaws in this neon maze. Humming with electric haze. For the future here we blaze. Squirrel Zone in cyberspace. We rock out in Squirrel Night. See bright in blinding light. Future's here, technology tight. Rocking hard till morning light. Circuits at the night alive. We survive the cyber hive. Outcast in electric vibe. In these streets we do or die. Digital hybrids dying hard. Skies filled with electric stars. We ride fast in glitching cars. Leave behind all city scars. Outlaws in this neon maze. Humming with electric haze. For the future here we blaze. Squirrel Zone in cyberface.
Let's get nuts.
It's a nice box!
Hello. Howdy, howdy. Sure. Huh? I'm here to bring the pain. Oh, we're gonna start a little softer than that. We're gonna make sure everybody's doing all right. Dan had a nap. Very good. Very good. How's everybody doing? Oh, you like my gur? I'm thinking on putting him at the front door so that he greets everybody. I'm strongly considering it, and I'm also thinking about I have to print out a cupcake, so I'm gonna take, because his top of his head comes off, so I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna put a cupcake in there. Hold the sinus of barf mug. Oh, gross. Gross. Well, you know I'm not gonna make you feel any better. So yeah, we're just kind of like bracing for impact right now. Good excuse to be here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyway, Turtle Mama. So I'm going to put a cupcake in his head so that he can say, I miss my cupcake. And then he has a cupcake. I also have the option of printing out the giant piggy. Yeah, cupcake. If you've ever seen Invader Zim, yeah, it's a thing. Gur reminds me to take my meds. I saw a squirrel. You were doing like this. I saw a squirrel. That's like my favorite line in the entire series. Either that or, you're going to be a dog. I want to be a mongoose. No, you're going to be a dog. Can I be a mongoose dog? I saw a hedgehog today. Yay! Hey, it's Dragon!
Drugs.
All the drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all my non-binary neurodivergent squirrels, we would like to welcome to the stadium Dragon Suck My Dick Heart. 40 months, holy shit. That is cray-cray. Absolutely crazy. First episode of the Alien Babies recognized. Nice. You guys can hear the music okay? It's not too much. I'm doing something a little different right now. It's good? Okay. Good. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of mellow-ish tunage in the background, because it's gonna be fitting for today. In triplicate, and then some. And then some. So anyway, besides Jay being homesick, yes it is. Yes it is. But don't worry. Don't worry. Just like last time, I am going to hurt myself more than you guys. That is my Squirrel Dad guarantee. That is my squirrely promise to you. I am going to hurt myself more than I hurt you guys. I don't. Because I am going to be sharing some stuff. That's right. Happy birthday to the Melty Mermaid. Merry birthday to you. So, I hope everybody is comfy. I hope everybody's got their squishmallows. I brought my emotional support Wookiee. So I've got him sitting off to the side. That's what they say, but yeah. Boy, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Yes, but I have things written down that kind of ensure that. I'm going to be telling you guys some stuff today that I don't tend to spread around very often. So, hopefully that, not only is that a way for me to show you guys how I can relate, but I also think it adds that extra little bit of a layer of trust. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. The fact that I'm going to be sharing some shit. Yeah, keep it real, bitch. Yep. Transparency. You guys know me. For the last 5 years, I have been all about transparency. And showing you guys that, yeah, I'm just like all of you. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Because it keeps forgetting to put my little fucking ad manager clock in there so I can keep track of it. Sume, 35.
Let's get nuts.
What is up? Because we support transparency, yes. It is all about transparent. Sorry. That one mint that I have to take, remember I was bitching how it gives me really bad dry mouth? That's not going to help when I'm talking a whole bunch. But, here we are. Probably not. That's right. Drink the wet stuff. So if you've got some water, there's your water check. Med check. I just took my my refill one. Yeah, allergy meds can do that. 100%. 100%. Giving you that rotten cotton mouth. Rotten cotton. Rootin' tootin' sinkin' dirtin'. Yeah. Anyway. So as you can see, there is a trigger warning on the stream today, because we are going to be talking about ADHD, autism, and depression. This one is going to get raw. I'm going to be talking very plainly, so prep yourself for that. We're going to be talking about depression, including suicidal thoughts. If that's too heavy for you, please dip out. I won't hold it against you or dip out when you need to. But remember, just like last time, you're safe. You're in a safe place here, even if you can't stay, or even if you just sit in the background and lurk. Remember, we all make this a safe place, okay? So again, I'm going to be very plain, very straightforward. Every fucking day of my life, yeah. As long as I'm properly prepared. Like I said, bring your emotional support squishy, whatever it happens to be. Whatever it happens to be. I didn't bring any little flashcards to put over here because that just doesn't... It didn't seem like it fit today for me, so... And I guess before we get into it, emotional support noodles, very good. And it's Preston, thanks a week. Gotta find my cat then. I'm just saying, have something on standby, that's all. Before we get started, I guess I should start mentioning it. I'm very bad at the whole promoting thing, but as you all know, I have got those 2 certifications up on the wall there. So I have actually started. I gotta... Jay, remind me to set that one after the stream. I haven't set... Try coaches. I think it might be coaches. Emotional support poodle. Nice. There we go. Those are the other ones, my other friends that are coaches that I recommend. You remember Sheila? She was here last Sunday. I've streamed with Druids before. Ron, Ryan, Dusty. Yep, they're all friends of mine. Ones that I recommend. So I will be changing that in the near future, just to let you guys know that yes, I am taking people on. So if you want that, thank you, sir. So if you want that one-on-one, give me a DM, hit me up, or you can actually find it on the website. You can either go to squirreldad.com or you can actually use my real name. You can go to tylerbacon.com as well, and that will take you directly to the page. So if you want to book something, I actually have a booking calendar down at the bottom. And remember, if you are part of the community, you guys get half price because I love you all. So there you go. And that'll be going on until the end of March, I think, until April 1st. April Fool's Day. So yeah, if you guys do want the one-on-one with a double certified ADHD and autism coach, check out my site. There we go. I actually promoted myself for once. Or send me $20 and I'll set you up. Well, it works out to 30 for you guys, as opposed to 60. Give me the schedule. I was saying that because I'm now a double certified ADHD and autism coach, that if anybody actually wants a one-on-one, they can book it with me now. Because, yeah, figure I'll share that with you. Hopefully I get some good reviews. I've already got one client. Not naming names, but hopefully I get good reviews. Alright. Let's get to it. Once again, can't we all just vouch for you? I mean, you could, you know what? If you really want to do that, go to my LinkedIn and give me a fucking a thumb up on the advocacy or whatever. That would probably help. That's right. Pimp yourself. All right, I digress. Let's get to it. I know I'm avoiding this as much as I can too, but I should do the thing. I need help. Well, that's what my coaching is for. Anyway, all right. Another little drink and we'll get to it. All right. Here we go with depression. Once again, big trigger warning. If you need to dip, I understand. You can DM me afterwards. That's all cool. I still love you. It's all good. But today's going to get heavy. And again, I'm going to use You know me, I'm going to be blunt, straightforward, and not fucking beat around the bush, all right? Clinical definition for depression. According to the DSM-5-TR, which is the latest version, depression equals a persistent low mood, loss of interest or pleasure, changes in sleep, appetite, energy, or self-worth. The human definition, it's not just sadness, it's like your body hits airplane mode and refuses to turn back on. That's one way to look at it. But there you go. Some statistics for you. Did you know that 5% of adults globally live with depression? And I'm not talking just they're having some bad days, or, you know, they're a little sad on Tuesday, but they have a drink with a friend and they're all better, or they go and bitch to Martha and all of a sudden everything's better. No, I'm talking about like chronic, persistent depression. People with ADHD or autism, the risk, situational versus clinical, yep. ADHD and autism, our risk of having depression doubles or triples that. I was talking with my friend Alisora Lofus, and I told him, he and I both agreed that if you have ADHD, if you have autism, and you don't have some form of depression, you're an anomaly. Pick me, that's me, yep. Because quite honestly, there's no, and just that, situational, as in you're in a shit situation. So you're a bit sad about it, you're a bit depressed about it, you're a bit down about it, right? But it's not like clinical, diagnosable depression. And you're right, it's no, it's not fun, actually. Some of the highest, hi Sume, guess what you walked into? But I can pull myself out of it. That's situational. Yeah, that is definitely situational. Yeah, and actually, Jay, we're about to go over those. Yeah, I know you are. The reason that we have covered anxiety last week and depression this week is because, as Calico put, they overlap. They overlap very, very heavily. And because, like ADHD and autism, you have got a much, much higher chance of having anxiety and depression. So, oh, I believe my child's home. You'll have to bear with me.
Ow.
Hello, child.
Hi. Yeah, it's me. Hi.
How's your day?
It was good.
Good. We're having heavy talking over here, okay?
Okay.
Like as in the topic is heavy.
Okay.
Okay? Don't get me wrong, friend, meant that lightly, no there's a correction or anything. Oh, yeah, no. I might have the clinical shit. Thanks for having something to bring the therapist on Monday. Oh, just wait, Sume. Just wait. You stick around. I'm going to give you a whole lot to go to your therapist with. Just making sure sarcasm. Oh, sarcasm and text, we get it. Right, we get it around here. Okay, like I was saying, ADHD, autism, our rates double or triple. Suicide. Autistic adults are 3 to 9 times more likely. ADHD, the stats are not quite that high. I believe it is 5 times. But yes, my care assessment for noise. Anyway, so suffice it to say, the risk doubles or triples, and 3 to 9 times more likely. Passive does count. All right, let us get to some of the ones that are listed. Number 1, major depressive disorder. Clinical diagnosis description. It's more than a period of 2 weeks or longer of depressed mood or loss of interest, plus symptoms like sleep changes, guilt, concentration issues, suicidal thoughts. This cannot just last for 2 weeks. This can go on for years and years and years. That's one of the ones that I have. It's like having the crash even when even getting out of bed feels like running a marathon with lead boots. It's one of those things. That's part of how it feels. I'll get to this a little bit later, but one of the ones that I struggle with right now, and I told you I'm going to be opening a whole lot of shit here. One of the ones I struggle with right now is ever since the MS diagnosis. I have the daily fight when I get up that I feel like I am a burden to my family, to my friends, because I can't do as much as I used to be able to do. Because when I try to walk around the house, I look like a fucking human pinball. So, yeah, that's part of mine, but I'll get to more of that later. Number 2, persistent depressive disorder, also known as dysthymia. Clinical description, it is a chronic low mood, 2+ years. It's not as intense as major depressive disorder, but it is long and grinding. So, yeah, that's another one that I think I do, but I'd have to talk to my diagnostician to be sure. But think of it like the gray fog, not curled up. You're not curled up in tears every day, but you're never really living either. You know what I mean? Yeah, MDD is a spiral. PDD is a steady black cloud. Yeah, it's like living constantly in that haze, in that fog, and you just can't get out of it. Disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, also known as DMDD. This is usually something that you will find in kids more often than not. No. Speak away, Jay. But yeah, this one, DMDD, you will usually find in kids. Clinically, it is denoted by severe temper outbursts and persistent irritability, also known as me when I was a child. It's like invisible weights on your whole body, where even physically and mentally it feels so much harder to do. Yep, that's a good description of it. But with DMDD, think of it as depression's angry cousin. It shows up more often in kids, but the scars of it do stick with you. I do need to get some advice later. Nothing heavy. Someone there. Yeah, just DM me. All right, one for the lady folk or the AFABs. You're going to love me for this one. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, also known as PMDD. My wife has that. A lot of the female type folks in my life have that. Clinical description, extreme mood swings, depression, irritability before menstruation. I describe it, now this is going to be a little misogynistic of me, and I apologize for that, but it's the best way that I can equate it in my mind, is if you think about it like PMS on fucking steroids. Because it can be insane. PMS Hulk mode. Yeah. That's how I see it in my wife, and even she agrees with that. But when it hits for her, holy shit. Her moods can go all over the place if she's not medicated for it. She is medicated for it, thank Christ. But before that, it was crazy. Fixed out with hormones, yeah, I described it as a rage cloud that sticks around. It isn't just PMS, it's a hormonal nuke that drops every month. At least it was for my wife. Again, I don't personally experience it, but I have personally experienced the other end of it. Like PMS on roids, and then the aliens decided to, yeah. Yes, it is intense. Nicole and I are very worried that Jasa might end up getting it. So we're very worried about that, because it can be hereditary. Ovaries to brain nuke the whole fucking body, yep. Yep. Next up, the depressive disorder due to another medical condition, which is basically depression directly tied to health issues. Again, in my case, MS, in a lot of people, chronic pain, lupus, things like that. It's when your body betrays you and your brain tags along for the ride. That's how I feel about it. I constantly bitching that I feel like I am living in a body that has fucking betrayed me, and I am not happy about that. So yes, you can absolutely have. Would that be social? I mean, yes, I think it would actually. It's not. It's not a diagnostic thing of its own. I'm just saying it's depressive disorders due to other conditions, right? So ADHD and autism, yes, they do have depression that kind of sprouts alongside with them. This, I think, what they mean by it is more directly related to, say if somebody gets cancer or something, the depressive state that they go into after that, right? It's not. I don't think it's directly tied. I think it's like situational, but like it is, but it's not. You know what I mean? So again, my MS diagnosis fits perfectly in here. I'm constantly having those thoughts about, again, being a burden. Depressive symptoms because you just can't live. Yep. But yeah, I'm constantly having those dark thoughts because, I feel like I'm a paperweight, essentially. And it sucks, and I don't like it, but it's a thing that I kind of go through myself. There is also substance or medication-induced depressive disorder. Clinical description is depression caused by substances such as like alcohol, medications, the harder drugs, things like that. Sometimes depression isn't just in your head, but it's also in your bloodstream. That crash that some people get, like with not just with the hangover, but like that crash that people can get afterwards. Yeah, because when the alcohol is in your bloodstream. Does that make sense? Maybe I didn't word that very well when I wrote it down. My bad. Yes. Okay, good. And of course, there are other specified or unspecified depressive disorders. It's kind of a catch-all if it doesn't really fit in a box. But it's
a nice box.
I know it is, honey. If it doesn't necessarily fit in the box, but it is still depression. Because depression doesn't always color inside the DSM lines, you know what I mean? Here's one that kind of fits in with this, or with well, no, that's not depressive disorder to a medical condition. This one this one fits in. The state of the world right now is one that I wrote down for this, because it's one of those things that is persistent wherever you look. Like, unless you're intentionally living in a box or intentionally avoiding all of the shit going on in the world. And I know there are people that are, and that's fine. That's fine. If that's how you want to live your life, that's fine. Right? If I know a lot of people that do that because it brings them a better quality of life, and it brings them a little more happiness to ignore all of the news and just kind of live in their own space. And that's great. That is great for them. I am very happy for them. I always need to know what's going on in the world, and watching the state of the world. Yeah, the ostrich technique. Yeah. Bury that head in the sand. But yeah, looking around and seeing all the shit that's going on. Here's one example. About 2 hours ago, you guys know who Charlie Kirk is? About 2 hours ago, he was on his little debate tour, and he was at the college campus in Utah, and he was fucking shot in the neck. And I saw the close-up video of it. I do not recommend you find it. I do not recommend you look at it, because it is Last I heard, he's in critical condition. Now, I think Charlie Kirk is a fucking idiot. I think he's completely him and oh, did he? Did he really? That was confirmed, eh? Sorry, I'm just gonna double check that. Yep, it is confirmed. Okay. You realize he's gonna be a fucking martyr now. Like, I fundamentally, on every ground, disagree with everything that guy stands for and says. I do not believe that that should have happened. I don't think that should have happened. I don't think he deserved that. And I'm doing that right now. The last I heard. Yeah. Well, last I heard he was in critical condition, but confirmed 5 minutes ago. Okay. I kind of figured that's what was going to happen because he lost a lot. Lost a lot of blood. It was nasty. Now, even though I completely am the absolute polar opposite of that guy, I do not wish that kind of thing for anybody. Honestly, there is only one person in the world right now that I think needs to catch a bullet. There are two people in the world right now that I would celebrate their demise. And that's it. Charlie Kirk was not one of them. Hi, V. Welcome to Coach's Corner. It was an actor in a hospital. It's a wound. Yeah. Well, because it caught him here, and I think it went straight through, and it was a jugular. Me, please say. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah. There's a lot of people that I wish bad things for. I wish that every day for the rest of their life they stub their pinky toe on the coffee table. I wish for the rest of their life every day they step on a Lego in bare feet. I hope that the batteries in their remote are never charged and constantly dead. Right? These are things that I hope for these people. Both sides of their pillows are warm, yeah. Soon had to go do things. Yeah. But again, there's another thing for the state of the world. I hope they step in something wet with socks every day. Yep. And then Dan can sing it to them. Kidney stones the size of grapes. Yeah. I hope they're heavily inconvenienced every day. No one deserves that. We need a Dexter. But yeah, I don't stand by what happened. I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, that they have the day they deserve, absolutely. Yeah. So I've heard. I'm so glad that I've never had to deal with that. Hey, you know what? Alright, let's see if I can get into this before the self-care break. We're going to move on to the neurodivergent twist with depression, ADHD, repeated failure feedback, the feeling of helplessness, there we go, helplessness. Let's try that again. For people with ADHD, there we go, the repeated failure feedback, where you feel like you failed something, and then you feel helpless about it, and then the depression. Yes, the negative loop, the negative feedback loop. And then the rumination. It's a rumination loop because it gets stuck in your head like a broken record. And it goes on and on and on. Can anybody relate to that? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can. But yes, that is something that I absolutely deal with constantly. And I fucking hate it. I thought I'd be safe with this stream, but it turns out I'm... sorry. I'm the odd one, I know. One that is attributed more to autism. Then you get the avoidance where you feel, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm never doing it again. One of the ones when, with autistics, and this can also be ADHDers, is masking fatigue, which leads to burnout, which leads to depression. Because a neurodivergent burnout can not just take you down for a couple of days, it can take you down for a couple of months. Multiple trips to the ER. Oh, yuck. Ugh. Masking, what's that? The thing you're doing right now. So yeah, because of all of the heavy masking that we do, it leads to a burnout. Hi, Jewel. Buckle up. It can last for years. Yes, it can. I want to think that I'm coming out of mine, but I've also been in mine for like 5 years or longer. I think I got something stuck in my ear because I couldn't hear you. Gonna be a ride? Look at the topic. Been for 3 years. Yep. It is not fucking pretty. Especially if you were a later life diagnosed, so you didn't even realize that you have been masking that heavily for that long. Been a burnout since 1987. There you go. But yeah, you didn't even realize that you were masking. Again, which leads to the burnout, which leads to the depression. Insert the rumination. Round and round we go. Where it stops, who fucking knows? And there are some of us that experience what is called alexithymia. If you don't know what alexithymia is, it is essentially the inability to recognize your own emotional state. The inability to understand and recognize your own emotions. I suffer from alexithymia. So when you're in a crisis, there it is, I saw it. I was waiting for it. Angie, 37. Holy shit. Not sure about autism, and don't think my therapist. Can your therapist diagnose you? Some can, some can't. Mind you, I don't know what it's like in Switzerland, so I don't know what the rules are there. That just you can't really describe how you feel. You just are. It's if kind of yes. Kind of yes. I understand my feelings, ones I reflect on. There's only one that I can truly understand, and that's anger. Right? I know when I'm feeling angry. Other than that, I could not describe what it is that I'm feeling at any given time. So yeah, Callie, that might be it. Just that I feel wrong or bad. Yep. I think that could probably describe it. There was also a psychiatrist, yes, but yeah. I mean, that's a topic that I wouldn't be able to get into. I'm not going to pretend to understand that one, let alone fucking try and tell you that I do, because I don't. Cuddle pile on the couch. That sounds like fun. But also, if you are combined ADHD and autistic, think of it like Like Depression saw Anxiety running the show and said, "Tag me in," basically. It's a nice little teeter-totter effect between the two of them. So yeah, there's part of the neurodivergent twist of having depression and how it's not just something that we can easily shake off. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to this next section, which we will get to after the self-care break. So again, if you guys need to grab your water, grab your stuffy, your emotional support, whatever they have. I've got my emotional support Wookie here, which he and I are going to have a little cuddle right after the self-care break, I think. But yes, get yourself some water, get yourself a snack, go to the bathroom, stand up, have a stretch, do what you need to do, my friends. But we'll be back in just a minute, and yeah, then shit's going to get kind of real for me, so... Sorry about that. I was getting into Mortal Kombat with a wasp. Well, a few of them. One of them lost. Viking to the music. There we go. Alright, let's catch up here. Think everyone's doing great so far. I mean, I don't think it's gotten too heavy yet. I emphasize the yet. How are you guys doing? Not too bad so far? Maybe, perhaps. That's fucking great, Jay. Fitting. Very fitting. You just kind of, Melty's just kind of vibing. For anyone and everyone. Is that in your shop? Because it should be. Need to work on patience. Reading homework with kids has made me realize, like, I have no patience. What's that song? That song was actually off my synthwave album. I think it's called 10,000 Windows. Need to double check it. Yeah, it's called 10,000 Windows. It is on my last album from Miami by Midnight. Album is called Dystopia 1987. And yeah, that one's called 10,000 Windows. Knock yourself out. I actually find that album gets a lot more play than I anticipated that it would. I thought it was just me spitting out some old shit and, you know, just having a little fun with some, like, mellowish synthwave stuff. No, that one actually, it gets some play. I was very surprised. Big issue with anger. Oh, that's a very common thing around here. Levity. Moment of levity. I mean, we could. Let me just save this happy little image. We'll just call it J. There we go. A little treat to share with you guys. Oh, why did I do that? I can just fucking... I can just go into studio mode and go over here. Derp. Un momento, por favor. There we go. A little something Jay just shared with me. Check this out. Jay is not just your demon daddy, but he's also your emotional support demon. I approve. I think that is adorable as shit. So yeah. Is that in your shop, Jay? Because if it's not, it should be. Steals his shirt. Yeah, if that's not in your shop, that should be. I'm going to make something along those lines. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, fuck, I want that. I have something similar that I never put up. Like, I've got, like, emotional support squirrel, emotional support meerkat, emotional support Canadian. Yeah, I've got a few of them, but I haven't finished them off and put them up, but seeing this, hey, maybe there'll be inspiration to actually do it. Alrighty. Before we get on to the coping strategies, I am going to share some things, if that's okay with you guys. Ba-da-ba-ba. Come here, Chewy. You and me, bud. Does that mean I'll leave your pants alone? What if she steals your shirt? You're getting some fun. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe open the floor for if anybody else wants to share a tale or two or something. But I did already mention about getting the MS diagnosis and having to deal with that. How the coping. Nantucket. It's Nantucket, not Nintucket. Good try though. But yeah, I had mentioned about, you know, the MS diagnosis, and you know, waking up every day feeling like a burden to the family, a burden to the friends, a burden to you guys. In my lack of energy, my lack of ability to do much. I'm the hardest on myself about it because I'm not putting out, you know, as much stuff as I'd like to. I'm not doing as many videos as I want. I'm not working on as much music as I want. I'm not doing as much, you know, merch gear, design, shit like that. Dry laundry on the rack. There you go. But, and especially now in the last, what was it, 2 weeks ago? When I had the MRI and I went to the doctor and talked to him, and he gave me the follow-up and told me that I am in the secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. What does that mean? That means there is nothing that they can do for me. It has gone undiagnosed for so long that I missed the window of being able to get any kind of a treatment for it. It's just, I'm too late. Even if I did go and get it, it wouldn't do anything. Right? Yep, that's exactly it. So especially ever since hearing that, I get up every day with the thought that everybody else would be better off if I just wasn't here. And that's, well, I mean, it's not their fault. They didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody considered it. Nobody even thought about it. It was never a consideration on the list. Because all the problems that I was having were like in my knees and in my hips and my lower back and stuff like that. We thought that it was related to working in the rail yard. We thought it was related to working in the clubs with all the hard concrete floors and no like good protective padding on the floor. We thought that it was all related to that. So nobody had even once thought to MRI my head. Nobody thought about it. But yeah, I know that it's depression that is lying to me, and some days it is fucking convincing. I know. Yeah, the passive ones are real, yep. Even though they're passive, they take over the thought train a lot, and you can't think about anything else for hours at a time. Yes. And that's one of the hardest parts, right? Like, especially for me on a daily basis, is that worry, right? I worry about not being able to be there for my kid as much as I want to be, right? You know that? Do you know the last time that I was actually able to pick up my daughter and give her a hug? It was long before she got to this size. It was long before she got to this size. Yeah, 1663. My mindset, I just don't care. Yeah. Why taking care of a human body so difficult? Right? Right? And then I'm going to add to that because, you know, why not just fill up the fucking plate as best I can? I talked about this a little bit last week. Was this year, ever since the middle of March, I have been stuck on a rumination path, right? Which we had just discussed, where you're ruminating about the past and things that you can't do about it, and it just gets stuck in that loop, that broken record, over and over and over and over, and there's no way you can get out of it. Voice up a bit, music down a bit. Okay. Oh, that is pretty loud. Yeah, it shouldn't be that loud. Yeah, and my voice is all right. It's buried in the yellow. I think maybe it's because I turned Winamp up. Hello. Howdy. I hope you read the title of the stream. Sounds like my rumination OCD. Indeed. I don't think I am so much familiar with that one. But, yeah, like, my brain chewed on it for months, and I just could not fucking let go of it. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for the sidetrack. My wife and I were talking, and I said, I mentioned something about, you know, us doing another rave, and how, you know, if we want to have another rave, I want to fill up this bar, right? And I said, so, you know, here's me, I'm going to be beating everybody over the head with shit about depression, and then going, hey, and then give some money. What the fuck? Anyway. Describing my average day then. Oh, I mean, we've already gone over the diagnostic stuff. But, yeah, more specifically, let's see here. Basically, I got stuck in a rumination over my own guilt, is what happened. It was my ex's birthday that happened in the middle of March. And I didn't think shit about it. You know, every year when it comes by, because I have a lot of guilt over that. Every year it comes by, and I kind of have a little smile and shed a little tear and go on with my day. This year, that did not happen. It fucking slapped me like a brick wall, and I got stuck in that rumination spiral, in that thinking about all of the guilt that I have, all of the shame that I have, because I was an entirely different person. You know, I was 21 fucking years old. You know, I didn't know shit about shit, didn't realize that I was a masking individual that was masking being an adult, trying to be an adult, in a place where all you do is, you know, hello. You know, where in a place where all you do is, like, drink, fuck, fight, and dance, right? Thinking that this is what it's like to be a human. Wrong. But yeah, being stuck in that spiral. Oh no, nobody knows shit when they're 21. But that's the thing, right? Is I could not get out of it for the fucking life of me. It was on that rumination, right? Over and over and over and over. So here's me every day stuck in that pit, reliving that guilt, and can't get off the fucking boat, right? That was the everyday for months. Massive depression, tons of people having it way worse than me, makes me a shitty human. Increased depression, just an example. Yeah, right? Now, again, I want to remind you guys, it is not a fucking Olympic sport. It is not. The shit that Jay is going through is no different to him than the shit that I go through is to me, right? You can't compare your trauma to somebody else's. That trauma is just as real to that person as your trauma is to you. It's not a competitive sport, right? This is why I absolutely fucking hate it when people say, "Oh, well, it could be worse," and then insert whatever there. Yeah, you're right, it could be, but it's not a competitive sport. So shut the fuck up, right? No, not at all. But it reminded me that that is how some people do it. That's how some people use that argument. Makes spiral spin faster. Yeah. Shouldn't compare traumas. You go over and try and help where you can. Absolutely. Right. But again, comparing your trauma to somebody else's trauma, and I'll give you an example. And this is just when I was like in high school-ish kind of thing. There was one girl, and many of you have heard me tell this story before. There was one girl that I went to high school with. She was silver spoon fed, essentially, right? She had just about the perfect life. But the most traumatic thing that had happened to her by the time we were in the 12th grade was that, I can't remember what she did, but her dad was pissed off at her, and Daddy took away the car keys. Now, to the vast majority of us, that statement sounds ridiculous. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. How many of you heard me say that and scoffed and kind of went, pfft, you know, like, that ain't shit? Admit it. I'm gonna say every one of you. I am. Don't be afraid. Admit it. Yeah. Right? Compared to even what you had gone through in your life up to grade 12. But exactly, Jay. That to her, that was the worst thing she had ever experienced, which was traumatizing to her. And it may sound ridiculous, and it may seem absolutely fucking stupid, but because to her, that was the most traumatizing thing that she had ever gone through up to that point in her life, as compared to insert your trauma here, right? But again, it's not a competitive sport. You can't, yeah, that would have been paradise, right? Right, if you think about it. But again, you can't compare because what you've gone through is your heaviest trauma compared to her, which is her heaviest trauma. And to most of us, that it does. It sounds ridiculous. It seems ridiculous. As Dragon pointed out, holy fuck, that would have been paradise, right? I mean, let's be honest. But you're comparing apples and duct tape. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Stub your toe was the first time this problem was painful thing you experienced. Well, someone broke their fucking knee. It's the most painful thing they ever went through. So both of them went, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So this is where I have learned, and I'm very happy to say that, you know, through this community, I have learned that you can't compare things like that. You just can't. And if you do, you're an asshole. But as Jay pointed out, you never know what is going through somebody's gray matter because they're probably hiding 90% of it. Exactly. And pain is absolutely subjective. Absolutely it is. Especially, yeah, no, what's your pain level today? Not a 10 because I consider that to be death. Right? Me either. And it's funny too because overall, you know, the neurodivergent body tends to be able to handle pain better than a neurotypical body. And yes, that is tested. But our pain scale is way different. Way different. Like, I feel like I wake up every day at a constant 3.5. That's my baseline. 3.5. On a good day. On the best of days. And then from there, depending on what I'm doing, if I have to do a lot of standing, if you know, say if I'm cooking and I don't have my chair with me or whatever, or before I had my chair, right, I would be up to 7.5, 8 by the end of it. I don't know if a neurotypical body would be able to handle that. If my 3 would be their 5, right? Currently trying to get myself to put in a psych ward for 72. Doesn't make me worse off. I just reached a point where I'm not sure I can deal anymore. I don't know what to say to that, Jay. I really don't. Pain level BS can fuck off. While baseline is not bad, spikes could be blunt. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Morning, Hutchie. I'm sure, but I found a pain level chart that was more accurate, though. There was one that I saw, my friend Dr. Leslie. I cannot remember which one it was that she shared, but there was one that seemed so much better. So because of cancer, I had part of my intestine on me. Now I have a permanent pain sickness in my brain whenever food passes by there. Ooh. Ew. That sucks. Yeah. It's all relative, right? Everybody's is relative. No shame in getting what you really need. Absolutely. No shame in taking care of yourself, right? Doing what you need to do to make sure that you can take care of yourself. So, a work in progress. Yep. And you know what? Every step forward is a step forward. Every small victory is a small victory. A win is a win, no matter what the size. I don't like my relatives. Generally, I don't like mine either, but Cairo's better than pain instead of house pain. There you go. Oh, I agree, Melty. I totally agree. That is completely admirable. It's like I said, it's another case of doing what you need to do in order to take care of yourself and make sure that you're the best you that you can be. Whatever that is, right? It said pizza, not pain. It said Posy Taco. I don't understand. But, anyway, yeah, so, again, with that rumination spiral, right? And being stuck in that constant loop, right? Where the brain is just telling you, that, you know, you'd be better off not being here. And being stuck on that train, and doing the best you can to get up every day and you know, feed yourself or whatever your small win is going to be. But again, for the sake of transparency, I'm not sharing any of this to scare anybody, but to be real, because too many of us suffer in silence without saying anything. Only makes $4.99 an hour. Oh, Jesus Christ. Pretty hefty hit and rental car accident, suffered concussion, 6 months recover, traumatic incident. Dealt with a hell of insurance. Oh, fuck, I hate dealing with insurance. Without a car for 3 months, 3 years later, sideswiped company vehicle, not injured. Minimal damage, traumatized in the incident. My initial reaction, I was traumatized? Yeah. It turns out you were, and you just didn't know it. It can happen that way too. Right? The gray matter is a very fucking weird bowl of jello. It's a very weird pudding we've got up here. Very strange. Which is attached to all of the rest of the nerves in your body. Biggest thing is, oh, they give me arm, close friends, except for way more. Yep. I try and think of that. I have got one of my own here. Actually, I wrote a song about that. That's, as you know, I do the AI metal band stuff because that's my therapeutic outlet. On the first album. Anyone else got the mood disorder flavor? That's a very, very big flavor. In fact, that's quite the buffet. Diagnosis, got depression diagnosis too. It was like, depression? What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Reaction. Let's go get this guy. Yeah. Yeah. As Pocket would say, can I eat it? This is where I would actually encourage some kind of an outlet. Honestly, I would. Because getting that out of you can help. This is also why I say everybody needs a therapist. And I mean everybody. Even therapists need therapists. The PMDD. Yeah, we had gone over that. Exactly. I read that as depressive tentacles. Oh my god. Do not think any more about that. Don't think any more about that. Oh, fuck's sake. I don't want to do what my mother did to me growing up. No kids to see that. You're right. Absolutely. That's another thought that I had. Is what if she's the one who finds me? Depressive tentacles. Told me just letting it out, bitch. Somebody, I'm gonna take it in. Well, and that's what there was a time when we had a like we've got the void, right, where people can just scream into the void if they want, right, and that channel just deletes your stuff after 5 minutes when it's working properly. That's what it does. But we also had Jay, I can't remember the name of it. The room where you were a rock star. Why can't I? Because words are hard. That's why. The panic room. Thank you, my God. We used to have a panic room. But unfortunately, there were... Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was it. But unfortunately, it got to the point where there were some people that were just taking advantage of it, and the people that were trying to be there to help, just, it was too much. Because we're not therapists, we're people too. I don't want to concern the mods in the void. I mean, I get it, but... Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. We definitely keep an eye on the void, right? Just in case somebody is at that point and, you know, one of us feels like we need to, like, reach out and say, hey, are you all right? Because, again, we're all human, right? I think it was Calico that kicked off this part of the conversation here about, you know, just making sure that... Yeah, it does, Jay. Yeah, oh yeah, there you go, Dan. That's a good example. It turned into a confession booth and it burned a lot of people out. Yeah. So that's why we don't have it anymore. Because there were some people that they were taking advantage of it, and it was just too much for people that volunteer in a spot. Oh yeah, Dan was in there a lot, Jay was in there a lot, Mama was in there a bit. I'm getting stressed trying to make dinner straight to the panic room. Yeah. But again, that goes back to trying to compare, right, what is stressing one person out versus what's stressing another out. I mean, just reading that by myself, internally I'm rolling my eyes so hard that I could see my own esophagus. But that's me. And you're right, Joel, our minds can take us to very scary places. Say they're going to harm themselves, they're just looking at somebody to help. But you always treat it as a serious situation. Yes. Yes, you do, because you never fucking know. That's the terrifying reality, is that you never know. Maybe that day is the day. Because I needed it that day. Oh, and you know what? I 100% know that there were some people that used it because they needed it. They absolutely needed it. But there were some people that had a bad habit of taking advantage of it. And talked them back because nobody walked through the door alone. Yep. Precisely. That's why you're Daddy Demon. The emotional support... I still have your picture up over here. The emotional support demon. God, that shirt's great. But again, that's why I am being as transparent about all of this as I can, because, you know, again, to show you guys that all of us go through it. Every one of us, right? Nobody walks in the dark alone, as Jay puts it. So, we're all here. We all do it. We got 16 minutes before the next self-care break. Can I get through the coping strategies? Section 6, Section 7. Maybe I can... Maybe I'll hold that off until after. We'll go over the coping strategies and the transparency. Speaking of which, we'll do that after. Someone reported depression out on display, not to get attention, but to let those suffering in silence know that they aren't, the only ones, It's when I get quiet on social media and hide that you need to worry. Fair enough. For me, it's when I get quiet and isolate, right? And I've recognized that. I've had people point that out, so I've come to recognize that. It's when I truly isolate that it's problematic. So, and I know that I was isolating for a while. And you know what? So do many of us, because that's part of masking. That's what we do, right? We just put the mask on, pretend it's not there. I'm not sure what you mean there, but definitely don't say you're not the only one. I don't get what you're saying. Excuse me. Share, listen, hear, empathize. Sorry, I guess I missed the context on that one. My bad. You know, text and all that shit. Let me see here. Out on display. Okay. That's what it... Okay. Thanks. I knew I missed the context. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and get through some of these. These are just some of the coping strategies. Now remember, as always, these are not going to work for everybody. But we're just putting them out there because they do work for some people. They work for enough people that it can be helpful. Okay? So, I try not to cross that ableist line when I do my digging up on the coping stuff. But again, these are the evidence-based. These are clinical. Yeah, but these are the clinically proven coping strategies. 1, behavioral activation. 1 small action every day. That means having a shower, eating something, getting out of bed, stepping outside, right? Behavioral activation. Doing 1 small thing. 1 small thing towards taking care of yourself, essentially. Another one would be therapy, obviously, whether that's CBT, ACT, or DBT, which I don't remember what all those stand for. Plus your meds. Statistically, that is the strongest, is going to therapy and medications. And I know not everybody can do this. Addendum to my previous comment, people go, when I hurt myself, treated as serious. When someone goes quiet, elevate that too. Giving up the scare. Yes, that's a big one to watch for, is when somebody does that. Right? They start, like, selling all their shit. Right? Giving their stuff away. Stuff like that. You know, little things to watch for. But anywho. Another one, and this is for the people that can do it. I'm not one of those people, but journaling and mood tracking if you're not overwhelmed. Again, these are the evidence-based clinical coping strategies. So if you can journal and do a mood tracking while going to therapy, while showing your therapist, and I tried to, my therapist had me do this about 6 months ago. She had me do this. And then, behavioral activation, doing one small action daily, be that a shower, eating something, stepping outside, whatever it is. That one small thing going forward. I call it word vomiting. If it isn't the dogs, I'm going to get out of bed some mornings, keep taking, I'm pooping in my room. That is, yeah, making sure that you don't have to deal with, dog shit in the room, yeah. We're afraid to ask hard questions. Yeah. Till the outside thing. I know Dan doesn't like to touch grass. We know. A couple of the neurodivergent friendly ones. Again, these don't all work for everybody. And this first one proves it. Body doubling. For doing your tasks. I know. It doesn't work for everybody. And I'm looking at a picture of one guy that I know it doesn't work for. What do you do when it gets tiring to keep track of those things? I try to keep track of certain things. It feels like too much cataloging. I mean, if it gets too much, then that's it. It's too many spoons, too much mana, too much, whatever system you stick with. Too many pennies in a day. I get that. The cat, yeah, no, that would do it. It does have a lot, and it's crazy how little it takes to be that motivation. It's true for some people, but to pick on Jay, he can't do it. It doesn't work for him, and I get that. It doesn't work for Freddy is the devil. It does not work for everybody, but for many of us, it does work. If you have tasks to do, breaking them down into insultingly small steps, ridiculously small steps, so that you're doing one thing and calling it a win, and then one more little tiny thing and calling it a win, right? Whether that's, we'll take dishes for example. If you can if you could speak English while you're trying to talk to people about serious shit, that would be a fucking thumbs up for you. But you can't, because English is your first language. Whatever. Tripping over my lips here. Okay, so, as I was saying, we're going to take dishes for an example. If you can put a bunch of cups in the sink, turn the hot water on, and even let them sit there, that's one step. That's an insultingly small step. Shit, let's break it down further. If you can just take the cups and put them in the sink. Step one. Right? Break shit down to insultingly small steps. And this one's a little more aligned at the autistics, but there are obviously ADHDers that can feel the same. Using your special interests as a lifeline, right? Following that dopamine out of the dark. And I know that works for ADHDers, but because I just do. But yeah, if you can use those special interests, or your not if it's a link, it doesn't allow you to post links. Right. Anyway, but if you can follow your interest out of the dark, then great. If you can find a way to do that, that is something that is helpful. Tend to sort my dishes first or everything. That's all possible. I have a feeling that Jewel is going to ask me what song this is. I love you. Keep looking. Whatever keeps you on the right side of the grass. Yeah. Pets, family, friends. If you tell yourself you need to stay on this planet for them, so be it. Whatever it is that will keep you going. Goblin Tools is extremely helpful. Yes, it is. I'm still off and on trying to get an app going. Yeah. See, the triggers that. But in my case, and I'll give you my examples, music is one. right? Like I said, the active corrosion project, you know, the AI metal stuff. It was my emotional survival for a while. You know, it like is like bleeding that poison into the sound for me. What was it? Keep fighting regardless how hard you got to fight. Yes. Right. So music, obviously one of mine. Community, doing the streams, being in the Discord, proof that I am not alone. That simple reminder for me was a big enough help. Make it worth fighting. And me being me, I tend to hide everything with humor and sarcasm to soften things. And I know there are a lot more of you out there that do that as well. Take your car rides. You can get out of the house. You make her sound like a puppy. You want to go for a car ride? You want to go? I know, right? Sarcasm? What's that? Group therapy for the next 12 weeks. I don't know how well you can hear this one in the background, Jewel, but this one is Each Light Falls off that same album. Laughter through labor with my kids. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I was able to get through the coping stuff. So let's do a super quick recap. Super quick before we continue on. All right, so what have we covered so far? The definitions, we have covered the statistics. We have gone over major depressive disorder, persistent depressive disorder, disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD, depressive disorder due to another medical condition, substance medication induced, and other specified or unspecified. We added the neurodivergent twist. I shared a little bit too much with you guys, and then we got onto some coping strategies. So I think all in all, we paced this out pretty good. How are you guys doing? Give me on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being super okay and 1 being super not okay. How are you doing between 1 and 5? I want to gauge where you guys are at. Four, good. 3, okay. I mean, okay, boss, that's totally fair. Dan's at a 5, all right. Bit insightful, good. If it's not a personal attack, I'd rather it be insightful / educational / something that a tool you can put in your toolbox to use. 5, 3, 2 heading into 3. Also, I do a lot of those. Yep, I know that there are a lot of you that do a lot of those, because I see you doing it daily. Dan's feeling dandy. Took garbage out so I missed some of the trauma. You cheated, is what you're saying. You cheated. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys are hovering mid to above. Good, I'm glad. I did do some rewriting so as not to hit so hard, I guess. I toned it down a little bit, because I'd actually written this one back when I did the anxiety one, so I had a bit of time in the last few days. I looked over it and I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll just pull that down. It's already been relatively mild. How you doing? I mean, and you know, that's fair, I get it. I totally get it. Well, There is still a little bit more that we have. Not very much. Take all the hugs. At least so. I mean, the next part might get a little bit heavy again. Yeah, I think it might get a little heavy again. So I guess we'll see. I don't know, Jay. Are you doing a an aftercare stream tonight? I mean, touche. Alrighty, the bot's bugging. Let's do it once again. Self-care break time. Go and get yourself some water, a snack, whatever it is you need to do. Go hit the bathroom, stand up, have a stretch, go say hi to your wife, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, take a few moments. We'll be right back. And then we're going to get into something more. Yeah. Your wives can be anything. Can they be a squirrel? They'd be doing like this. Anyway, now trying not to glue myself. Okay. Yeah, don't be like Dan. Don't be like Dan. Jewel's saying she's trying not to glue herself to herself. Please don't do that. Don't be like Dan, who glues himself to everything. Mikey the Squirrel Master. Perfect. Yeah, okay. Rule 18, don't be like Dan. Yeah, I don't know if that's 18. I think that'd probably be 12, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember offhand. Yeah, 12-ish. Now, any of the other 17 rules? They're way up in the welcome channel. I mean, you could, but why? You've already got one. You know what I mean? Ooh, piece of candy. There's already 18? Wow. I didn't remember there was that many. I'm so used to breaking them all. My house, my rules. Some shit like that. I don't know. What you guys do in the privacy of your own home, not our business. No, I'm not going to ask that. All right. Continuing along. This is the one thing that I kind of... Me again, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, this is the one thing that I was kind of hesitant to touch on, but I know it is kind of important. We have tagged it a little bit. Sorry, I had a fly zip in front of my face there. We kind of have touched on it a little bit. This part is going to be about the suicidal ideation and how when you are in that deep of a state, right, which we were just talking about, it can get to that point, right? Like, what was it we were saying about that? Where were they? Well, look, again, in my case, it was every day feeling like the fucking bird, right? In other people's case, it's just feeling like, you know, you don't fit, you don't belong, you know, whatever else. These are absolutely things that we need to be aware of, right? If you're in a group or a community, if you can, you know, look and pick up any of the signs, if you can do that. But sometimes it's not about not wanting to be here. It's more about just wanting the pain to stop. And when you are in that deep of a state for that long, even to a point where you don't even know how long you've been there. Hey, there you go. Actually, that'd be super beneficial. Yeah, I don't want to die, but I don't want to live. Yeah, you just want relief. Yeah, you want the pain to stop. Be that emotional or otherwise, right? But you're just done with it, right? And yeah, that's a very real end. I don't want to say that. It's a very real outcome is the word I was looking for. Again, with our numbers being between 3 and 9 times higher than, you know, the normies. Something that'll make all the bad things go away. Mm-hmm. And there are some people that view that as selfish. I don't, but I have to argue that with some people. Didn't invite to hear their pain. Yeah. Call the signs invites. I see. Yeah, a way to let it out, a way to get it off your chest, get it out of your system. And yeah, it's a very real thing. Right? I've been there. I still fight those urges every day. It's true. You might not see it, but it's there daily. And I'm still here. Because music, because community, because you guys. Because sometimes just making it through another day is the win. That's the small victory. Remembering that you've beaten every day of your life up to this point. And the reminder that you want to break that record, maybe. What they call a tough question to help determine what state they're in. That's good. There we go. Right? But sometimes you don't feel it. And that's the point. That's the problem. Is sometimes you just don't feel that. And hearing it is not necessarily enough to break you out of that. Because that it's like being buried in a hole. Right? And somebody just literally burying you back up in that hole, just being covered by that dirt and just trying to get out of it. And you just can't. But this is where I think it's important to try and I think more of the world needs to normalize reaching out. Be that like crisis lines. We've got a list in the server in the mental health district, whatever. Oh, I think a wasp just came in here. Yeah, that's right. Fuck off. Otherwise, you're going to meet the other side of my fly swatter. But yeah, I think we need to normalize reaching out. And again, it can be exceptionally difficult, especially with going back to the state of the world. But we need to be able to normalize reaching out. Be that just texting a friend, or just sending a DM to somebody, or therapy. That's a big one. But also needing to remember that that is not weakness. That is survival. Literally. Quite literally. That is survival. That's not a weakness. Reaching out to somebody does not make you weak. It makes you strong enough to realize that you're at that point. Because I know a lot of people, including myself, sometimes, can feel like that is a weakness. Very much say they're lying to me. That imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. Never breaks through. They're actually saying that. I feel like I don't have enough people tell me that on a more normal basis, so I know it for real and not just. That's fair. Neck deep in the dark. Dark bitch. Well, feels like taking a blindfold off. Yeah. It's true. That's why a lot of times, and I know Jay can relate to this. That's why a lot of times the compliments, they're just can't deal with them. Right? I can't take them. Because similar to what Calico was saying, at that point you are so deep in that state, it feels like bullshit anyway, right? Because your mind has got you to that point where it's fucking near impossible to break through, right? Yes, so I hear. But yeah, we do have all of the numbers. They're in the Discord. They are pinned in the, I think it's the mental health discussion channel, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to check here, just to be absolutely sure. Is it in the help desk? I don't think it is. I think it is in the mental health district resources. Am I right? Please be right. That's a lot of pins we got there. That is a lot of pins we got there. But yes, we do have a shit ton of the numbers, of the Lifeline numbers. We've got Australia, we've got the Kids Help Phone, we've got Beyond Blue, we've got the UK, we have Campaign Against Living Miserably, which I'm not familiar with. That's somewhere in Europe, I think. We got up here in Canada, we've got the First Nations and Inuit Center for Suicide Prevention. We've got Canadian Drug Rehabilitation, Canadian Drug Rehab Addiction Services is what I was looking for. National Eating Disorder Information, crisis text lines. This is all up in the mental health resources. It's in the pins. You gotta scroll a bit to get to it, but it's all there. Right, so we do have those available. If anybody does need them, please take advantage of them. Jay got distracted. that happens. Apparently I'm missing context and stuff. But again, those numbers are there for anybody to use should they feel that they need to use them. Please use them. Or reach out to somebody. Or reach out to me. Or, you know, my DMs are always open. Yeah. I'm not even here to see the... I'm just going to let you guys do your thing. All right, let's wrap this shit up, shall we? If you have dark thoughts, SI, whatever, find someone who feels safe to you, not just to the person who told you you could. Yeah, the person that you are comfortable with. You know what? Some people are not comfortable talking to me about that stuff. That's fine. I get it. Maybe they're more comfortable talking to Jay about it. We're wrapping. I'm not done yet. Uh-oh, Jay's coming in. But yeah, exactly that, right? To somebody that you feel comfortable talking to. And try and remember that person is not necessarily a therapist, unless they're a therapist, in which case you're getting free therapy, kind of like you guys are getting free coaching today. So if you appreciate your free coaching, hey, let's fill that bar up and get a rave. Oh yeah. Jay busting through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Where's Jay? We're talking about depression.
Oh, yeah!
You see what I did there? All right. Let's get some takeaways while Jay types out his fucking novel. Some people aren't equipped to deal with their feels. That's okay. Find the people who can and that you are comfortable with. Yes. Absolutely. If it's not me, that's fine. I get it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I fucking totally understand that. I don't fault you for it. Find somebody that you are comfortable talking to. So what's something that we have learned today? I think the main thing should be that depression lies. Your brain's a liar. When they say it's all in your head, well, of course it is. Where the fuck else would it be? It's in your brain. But it's a liar. It whispers that you are worthless, but the community proves that it's wrong. Thank you, Bus. I appreciate that. RSD is a bitch. Yes, yes it is. And save those thoughts and feels for them. Don't go out. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on to that shit. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean it doesn't feel real, even if it's not. Exactly. Which I'm pretty sure we said a little bit earlier. Can't deep dive in the dark. There you go. I'm not as annoying as I possibly think I am. Why? Because RSD is a bitch. Imposter syndrome is a bitch. It's true. Anybody else? What's one thing that you learned today? Anybody else want to share? Hardest part is saying I need help. 100%. I'm there with you. I'm totally there with you. It's admitting to yourself that you're at that point. Not as sick as you drunk I am. That's right. I only had tea martinis, Ossifer. Not learned but reaffirmed. You're never alone. Exactly. Zachary. I don't even know who Zachary is, but eggs for Zachary. Okay, how about this? Just to spin shit. Let's go out on a little more positive note. It was difficult learning yourself in the room to bring. It's always okay. That's right. Which goes back to normalizing reaching out. I think we need to normalize that. We need to normalize a lot of things when it comes to mental health, but we definitely need to normalize that. Reaching out when you're not okay. It is okay to not be okay. But when you're not okay, make sure that you're safe. Make sure that you find somebody who is safe. Okay, let's wrap this up on a little bit lighter a note. What is one tiny thing that helps you get out of that fog? Setting it all on fire and walking away is not going to help. I'll be taking no further questions. Need to normalize loving one another and supporting them instead of learning to close ourselves off. Yeah. And especially in going back to the state of the world, right? Everybody can hate somebody or a group of people so freely without knowing them, without knowing anything about them. So if they can hate without knowing who people are, why can't you love without knowing? I do. Get over it. Hashtag fucking deal with it. You can't beat me up faster than I can. Something Jason says something like that. Cult of 13 manifesto, baby. Hell yeah. You know, being with people even if no one is talking. Yes, the body doubling. Yeah, there are times like, you know, I'm sure Shoes has mentioned it, and Dan, I'm sure you've seen it, where you guys sit there literally for hours and maybe not say anything, or say just a small amount during, 2 hours kind of thing. Just having another person there. Dress, get out of the house, gets you moving. Cool. Think of accomplishments that I've done, and it seems like nothing, but are actually a big deal. Like graduating. Hey, you got me beat. Driver's license, etc. There you go. There you go. Right? Those are absolutely things. And you know what? Those can, even if to you they feel like small wins, they're still wins. Every small win is still a win. You took a midterm today. Excellent. And I know you were studying your ass off for that. How do we do? Holy shit, 46 out of 50. 92%. Holy shit snacks. 92%. Good job, kiddo. Yeah, nice. Sometimes being in the presence of others. Sometimes I need to reach out and grab Jay by the balls. There you go. The last therapist told me any step forward, no matter how small, is something you should be proud of and celebrate. Yes, 100%. I agree. I've done numerous videos on that. Right? A small step, you should be celebrating even the smallest victories. Honestly. You should. Even if it's with fucking something like this, a bag of candy. I did a good thing. I'm going to have a piece of candy. Whatever. Ooh, piece of candy. Needs to be yelled. Only for myself. There you go. Baby steps. Yep. If it's baby steps, then it's still steps. 50 minutes in 10. Spent the extra 5 double checking. Having a panic attack. No, still, nice job. Yeah, baby steps are still steps. Absolutely. I'm going to sit outside for a little bit. There you go. If you feel like that's something that's going to help you, rock on. Do it. Whatever centers. Yeah, whatever centers you. Absolutely. So, if you manage to eat something today while depressed, congratulations. That is Olympic level shit. Gold medal right there. I got a next challenge for you. Oh no. Ruh-roh. Sometimes a caseworker wanted me to do something I've been avoiding. I mean, fair enough. I usually don't do very well outside because the MS and the heat and whatnot. But that's okay because I hang out here with Gert.
I gotta sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
There you go. Well, we're going to call that a wrap on that subject. So, see, I softened it up a little bit for you. I tried to. Because you guys said you were, hovering about 3-4 kind of thing. So, perfect. Cookies for everybody. Grab yourself a cookie. Why the fuck are you stuttering? You should not be stuttering. Stop that.
Drink your water. Unclench your jaw.
Okay, hydrate.
Your meds.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, but don't tell anybody, okay? So I'm ordering my new computer tonight. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Whatever centers you, even if it's lying in bed, listen to music. Yes! That is a thing. I was gonna make pumpkin spice muffins, but the weather went, hold my beer, and it got warm. Well, I'm telling everyone. Fuck off, Dan.
Dan done did it.
Isn't it? Now is a good... Hang on. Do. Where the fuck did it go? No, really, where the fuck did it go? Why is that turned off? Oh, there it is. There we go. Now's as good a time to test it out, if you want. See if I did it right. Oh, Angie, we're gonna hang out for a little bit longer. Nice background. Monitor. What happened today has been a shit show. Oh. Fucking Dan.
You just need to activate your hyperfocus.
Fine, fuck it.
Hello, and thank you for calling ADHD Incorporated. All our operators are currently busy. Your call is very important to us. Please hold the line and the first available representative will be happy to help you.
I'll try and fix that tonight. I figured, fuck it, I'll just do it for you. Give myself more points back and it worked. That's because I did it. Keep the points. Because seriously, considered starting a saltwater aquarium. There you go. Can make muffins, hell yeah. We got carrot muffins a little while ago. I don't know if there's any left, but it wouldn't surprise me if the kid ate the last of them. Thanks, Chewy. I appreciate you, buddy. Chewy had me covered today. Cookies, wish I had a better option. I mean, hey, it's all good. Pumpkin muffins planned for the oven. Hey, nice. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. I made cookies last night. Excellent. I'm glad to hear those kind of things. Whoop. No, it's not. It's actually the Build-A-Bear. Yeah, this is my, where's the tag there? Where's your tag there, idiot? I don't know where his tag went. But yeah, this one's a Build-A-Bear. Wow. Since you're always my call. Learned that no matter what we're going through mentally, sometimes physically at the moment, if we sit down, just zone out, not full dissociation or fish tanks, mind calms down, nice. That's awesome. How long we sit there, getting up afterwards hurts. So, oh yeah, I get that. For me, it's drowning myself in active corrosion, honestly, or creating some new project. Right, working on something. Goddamn Ontario kids, I tell you. Activated your bacon. Nice. Nice. Well, that's Jason's thing around here. I call her Susie Homemaker for that. She bakes up a storm when she gets going. She hasn't done anything recently, but you know, school getting back in, enjoying the end of summer. I get it. Maybe on a weekend at some point she'll want to do something. Maybe not. A new project, or at least a rejuvenation on an old project. Fuck off, line. I am going to be sliding myself back into a little bit more of the, like, authentic music production. Not so much the AI stuff. Maybe in the case of making vocals, but that's it. But yeah, I'm going to get into some actual production stuff here. And I also have another novel that I want to write. So, there's that. Another pretty cool. Ready to bake stuff that I can't eat? I mean... I've been saying that to Nate for years. Doesn't work on him. God damn it. Like I told Ella, they make sugar for diabetics you can substitute with. Yes, it is. You're saying it to you too. Be your little self-inspiration. You know, I had put you down. Here you go, bud. Have a seat. What do you keep telling Nate? Start working on some fucking music. But I've been telling him that for years. I'm gonna have to look into your music. You really want me to go down that rabbit hole? Because that's a fucking rabbit hole. There you go. Oh, it doesn't come up in here, but yeah, that's some of the stuff. But yeah, that's totally a fucking rabbit hole in and of itself. Oh, we're taking requests now. Is this what we're doing now? We're having a little aftercare with music. Is that what we're doing? Little musical aftercare. The amount I wish you would work on music when she makes it beautiful, but no, you should be busy working on something else. Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I mean, shit, I think I have 6 or 7 of his albums here. Like, hold your horses. If we're taking requests, apparently this is what we're doing now, I guess. And chainsaws. Yeah, of course. All right, here we go. Hang on. Let me just... Fuck off, fly. Jesus Christ. You're fucking brave. Very brave. Oh, not that one. Do. That one? There we go. Thank you. Play the song like... Oh yeah, I meant to do that on... C is for cooking while waiting for cooking. I meant to do that on Friday. Alrighty. Let me just put a little pause on this here. Alright. Here we go. For those who are unfamiliar, this is my SoundCloud account. This is where I put the majority of my stuff while I am in the process of making it, because I like to share it with the patrons. So if you're on my Patreon, you will usually get links of music. Actually, there's a playlist that you guys have access to. It is called, where is it? This one here, Members Only. And right now it's got 16 tracks on it, which I do need to clean that up because some of them are released now. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of tunes on here. Oh, yeah, because I was trying to do that. Back when my appointment officially did not break my ankle, just sprained it real good. Well, that's good. I'm glad you didn't break your ankle. Breaking ankle sucks. Fuck off, fly. Alright, anyway. Here we go. Apparently we're doing the request line thing. So, let's do that. I'm trying to keep up with what you guys have got for me here, but... Alright, here you go, mama. This one's unreleased, but it's going to be on the next Ross Gates album.
Think
So yeah, Jewel, I don't know how overly familiar you are with the shit that I do, but that's some of it, and this is also some of it when I take Jay's stuff and remix it. Play, goddammit. There we go.
I have a real quick but real great vocal part for a hard techno song. Hold your fucking horses.
Bad boy. Bad Sumi. Bad.
That's the sample right there, baby. Hold your fucking horses. I have a real quick but real great part for, I guess like a vocal part for just like a hard techno song. I'm sure you could probably hear it if you listen to this. That's the sample right there, baby. That's the sample right there, baby.
Aw, we're just getting good there, Hachi. Bye.
I don't know, something like that. Obviously, it has to be beat matched and maybe some effects and stuff on it.
That song is actually out right now everywhere. It's one fuck of a learning curve. Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. But, I mean, I'm sure there are people around that could teach you how to do it. Speaking of songs that are already out, hey, Danny.
Banging do the sound, and you know you want it raw. I'ma tear you up like a motherfucking chainsaw.
This is my last hardstyle album.
Blow that whistle, bitch. Blow it. Blow that whistle, bitch. Fuck it, I'm done.
See, now, that would depend on which version of dopamine you want. Do you want the original or do you want the remix? And yes, it's true. What happens at Propocalypse stays at Propocalypse. Remember that. You decide which are... Ladies' choice? Alright, ladies' choice. I'm not sure which lady we're talking about. Probably Jewel. The original or the remix? Because the original is like a thumping clubhouse. The remix is hard style. Because of it's raw style, technically. What it is. Yeah, I'm guessing it's up to you. Are we going to play the original of Me and Jay? You prefer the... Well, of course you do. Original or extra spicy? Hurry up, I've only got so many snoozes left I can use. That's one more, because I'm snoozing the ads right now. Play both. Okay, well, there you go. That'll just make everything easy. Here you go. Here's the original.
I'm gonna tweak, I'm gonna freak. 8.5 days a week. I'm at the peak of my mystique. How I became this weekend freak. Something's not right. Sleep all day, up all night. Can't think straight, no debate. I've got no fight or flight. That blood lights my mind, bouncing all around inside. Got no direction, just infection, and it just can't unwind. A disease inside of me, or something that will set me free. Can't be heard, can't be seen. Don't know what does it mean. Give me the dopamine. Can't go slow, must go fast until I'm hauling ass. Don't know what it is, but no, it just won't pass. 'Cause I'm spinning, I'm a flying. My jaw and teeth are blinded. I'm dripping through a rainbow, catching colors without trying. Need something I can't find to pacify my mind. I don't know what it is, which is probably by design. But make it mean, make it lean, make it lucky like 13. Make it messy, never clean. Make it look like a disaster scene. I'm tweaking off the dopamine.
Bye, Mama.
Tweaking off the
I mean, in all reality, I've still got that version somewhere.
I'm tweaking off the dopamine.
Hey, speaking of this music, hey, do you want an afternoon rave? Fill the bar.
I'm tweaking on the dopamine. I'm tweaking on the dopamine. I'm tweaking on the dopamine.
You said you wanted to see how different they were from each other? Okay. Just a wee. Yeah, just a minor difference between the two versions. So, yeah, there's that. And I did promise Angie, because I meant to do this last Friday, but Angie sent me a song, and I need to fucking see where it went. There we go. Boop. God damn it. Copy message link. There we go. All right. Seriously? This is what we're going to do? Fuck off. Oh my god. What a fucking pain in the ass. Let's try this. There we go. All right. Yeah. All right, let's see what Angie sent. Energetic synthwave pop track.
Wind me up again, perfect smiling place. Copy what you do, mirror every trait.
You bet. Catch you later.
Measured every beat. Spring-loaded responses make me sink coldly. But inside these tears are burning. All these cards keep me in line. I'm your clockwork heart, ticking just like you want. Every part designed to fit, but I'm losing what I was. Clockwork heart, breaking down from all this work. Tell me why I feel this real, the more human I become. Years of learning how to be what version works for thee. Each mechanism wearing thin, can't find me beneath the skin. It's been cold too tight, escaping, running wild. All my pieces scattered here. Who was I as a child? But inside these tears are grinding. All these cards keep me alive.
That's cool. We're wrapping up right after this.
I'm your clockwork heart, ticking just like you want. Every part designed to fit, but I'm losing what I was. Clockwork heart, breaking down from all this work. Tell me why I feel this real, the more human I become. Manufacture movements, calculated breath, performance so polished but dying inside this mesh of gears and wheels and springs that make me look alive. But automation's killing everything that helped me thrive. Watch me wind down when nobody's around. Listen to the machinists make that grinding sound. Pendulum swinging, but the rhythm's all wrong. Been mimicking your frequency for way too long. Escaping mechanism trying to leave, but every take brings distance from my inner peace. Clockmaker's apprentice learning all your ways, but losing my own tempo in this endless maze of fitting in and blending while my spirit fades. Every cog and wheel just another masquerade. Stop the hands from moving. Let me find my own time. All this careful tuning makes me lose my mind. I'm your clockwork heart, ticking just like you want. Every part designed to fit, but I'm losing what I was. Clockwork heart, breaking down from all this work. Tell me why I feel this real, the more human I become. Wind me up again, break it down. Perfect smiling face, keep up the sound. Maybe it's time to stop and find what's really me beneath this clockwork machinery.
That was good. I dig that. That was a good tune. Alrighty. Well, like I said, we're going to wrap this shit up. Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. For the 10% of you, well, it's more than that, it looks like, that stuck around. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will catch you guys in the Discord. I'll see you here on Sunday, because unfortunately I got to work on Friday. So we'll see you on Sunday. Till then, drink your water, take your meds, be kind to yourself. Mwah. Hopefully today didn't hurt too badly. Catch you later. Why are you not playing? Fucking thing. Fine, be that way. We'll do it like this. Cool.
Ein Prosit, der Gehilflichkeit. 1, 2, 3, 3. Standing shoulder to shoulder tonight. Each face like my own in this light. The battle behind us at last. Our victory burning so fast. Raise your steins up high. Identical eyes. Ba, 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 ba. Toast to brothers who march side by side. Zig-a-zagga, zig-a-zagga. Oi, oi, oi. Drink until the morning light. All night. All night. We train as one, fight as one. Share the same face in the sun. But tonight we celebrate free. degrees of a spree. Raise your steins up high, identicalize. Ba-bum,